Hey, welcome to the show. You are listening to the Roosic podcast. We are a roots music podcast based out of Nashville, Tennessee, where we talk to the local music scene and beyond.
Today we have the one and only Timbo. Timbo is an absolute fucking legend. He is also a singer, songwriter, guitar player who plays here around Nashville.
Check it out. Yesterday, and I was like, this thing is really fucking nice. And I feel like, it's comfy.
Cars in general are.
New cars, I agree.
You got a whole bunch of lights and screens and
buttons and gadgets.
Yeah.
Onboard bidets, all kinds of stuff.
Onboard bidet.
Or they're about to put that
Dude,
onboard
I
bidet
need
on.
one of those for the summer.
Man, summer in here. Oh yeah, that would get some use.
Bidet in your car could
Anti-swamp ass.
I just want the AC to work in my car. The AC keeps crapping out, and I'm like, I feel, God.
You know what? I had a rental truck that I got the other day, a couple months back, and for the first time ever, I had experienced air-conditioned seats.
Oh, that's what my ass needs.
Game changer.
Oh my God! Because we all get hot in the summer, rolling around in a black leather seat.
Air-conditioned seats are fucking nice.
Yeah, it's just like
one
you're sitting on it.
One of the cars I drive at work has that, and it
works.
That might be my. I might need that for the new car.
Sitting on a cloud of air.
Oh man, yeah, my poor car is getting
levitating through traffic.
Yeah. Don't shit your pants while you're sitting on there though, because unless you're by yourself in there.
Yeah, my car's. It's looking like it's getting to the end of its life too. So maybe that might be. I might be shooting for air conditioned seats sooner than I think. You know, who knows?
Yeah, man.
Those are pretty pricey.
Yeah,
I've only seen them in like nice ass cars.
Yeah, I don't know whether to look towards the new market, in that area that we're talking about car-wise. I'm definitely leaning more towards the old. I can't get away from how dependable the old Nissan trucks are from the 90s, and I can't get away. A lot of the old Chevys and a lot of the old Fords from that era are also, the engines in them are great. If you can find one with a 5-speed, a lot of the times, they stand the test of time, and there's, the transmissions are simpler on the manuals than they are in the automatic. They're also less expensive to replace the parts. And so I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace and see, I'm just something's wrong with me. I just love old cars. So I see this is an Oldsmobile Omega, and it looks like an old Cutlass. It was 84, and they did not make very many manual 4-speed of these cars. It looks like a cut. It looks like but not like the granny style, the newer Cutlass they made. It looks like the older, almost like a muscle Cutlass. It's a 2-door. But it's just kind of a little sawed-off kind of version now. So it's it's like a cross between. But anyway,
so you're in the market right now.
But that car's caught my eye because I used to have an old Skylark, and I just love the classic lines too, of those cars.
Old cars just have a certain charm that I feel like.
Yeah, dude.
It's like,
come on.
Get
just the aesthetics.
Yeah. Even if it was vinyl, the leather or the vinyl look-alike, they always had style and class, and plus, obviously, I like to have it smoke a little bit, and I like the fact that the old ones have ashtrays.
There you go. Yeah, it comes in handy.
Yeah, we need a petition to have more ashtrays in new cars. What the hell?
I've never understood why there aren't any car companies remaking the old models with like newer technology in them. I feel like those would crush. People would be all over that shit.
Absolutely.
But nobody does that.
Well, it's like think about anything else, right? Think about guitars, right?
Man.
Yeah,
guitars. Sure they make some newer models, but everyone still buys Strats and Tellys.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think, and it'd be one thing if the aesthetics of modern cars was cool. But no one fucking likes the looks of contemporary cars.
Well,
and they just won't give us the old ones back.
You don't have to keep this on interview, but I just got to show you this. I ran across this. It's a 1993 Ford Thunderbird with a 1949 kit, and so this is what it looks. This is what the front looks like. But you see, it's a 93 Thunderbird.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
You see that? Isn't that crazy? Here's what the front looks like. There's the side. That's a '93 Thunderbird.
Shit.
With a '49 front, and look at the back.
Oh, see, that's
Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing I've
I'd
ever
spend
seen.
some money on that.
But yeah,
That's,
it's funny. I just feel
kinda
like nostalgia sells so well in so many different
Yeah,
markets,
not
but they
cars for
just
some
won't
reason.
even try it in the car market. Why is that?
And you know they tease it getting close when they came out with the Bronco models and things like that. You know,
Yeah.
they teased, but you know that's a good question. I don't know because here's my thing. If you're going to compromise gas mileage anyway,
yeah.
like so many of the new models do, you know, and then if you're going to compromise gas mileage and power and all that for fancy things, then why not make it look cool? You know, why not make it? Why do they all have to look like a spaceship?
And I feel like all the new cars we see now, they're so uniform. Whereas back in the day, there was such a variety in aesthetics too.
Definitely.
I don't like everything. Doesn't matter if you're talking about like if you're talking about a minivan or you're talking about just a little guy. The lines are all the same. Like the shapes are all the same. It's very strange. I don't know why it is.
I noticed that a lot when you see a Lexus that looks like a Toyota, that looks like a Ford Expedition, that looks like a, and they all, or Ford Edge,
Yeah.
I always appreciated like the Cybertruck, even though it does look ridiculous.
See, I think it looks like something
I
on Blade. I think it's fucking
appreciate
cool.
that somebody is somebody decided to do something way the fuck out there. You know what I mean?
agree.
I like that they went for it. You know,
I want my
even
car
though
to look like Blade Runner. You know,
Yeah,
come on.
that's one of my
But
favorite
it's
movies.
funny too, because like I think in so many other worlds, if you're gonna sell something, right? There's always outliers, and I mean I'm sure there are in like the boutique car world, or that's I'm sure that is, but at least mass market. Just about anything else I can think of, you can find other stuff on the fringes that is going to cater to a different kind of want. Whereas with cars, you just don't really have that. It's odd.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, one of these days, I think somebody eventually will wisen up, because I mean, style is always ever evolving, but there are some things that are just classic, you know.
Yeah, like a
and-
Telly's always going to look fucking good.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's coming from a guy who doesn't even own a Telly.
That's perfect example.
Yeah, what's like the perfect guitar for you, just in terms of utility?
In terms of utility, well, I've always thought that weight added tone. Some people beg to differ. And of course, you can change things with amps and pedals, but I've always liked, and even though it don't feel particularly good on my back, but I've always liked a little bit of a heavy weight to my Telecaster. I like the Telecaster style. I also, as far as utility, I usually love to have a humbucker on the tail end. Lipsticks just fine on the front. What I do is I screw the tail end closer, the two screws there, and get the pickup closer to the strings. And that not only adds volume, but it also adds a little bit of gain, almost a little bit of a harsh.
Makes them bite a little bit.
Makes it bite a little bit. Yeah, it just gives a little bit of harshness, a little bit more dirt, and so I really love the way classic amps sound. I always have. I may get some of the weight of my thinking from my father, because he's a very kind of bare bones guy when it comes to what he's doing. On an electric guitar as well, but I just plug right into my music, man.
For years I've watched you play the Peavey. You used to play forever. I don't know if you still do or not, but you used to play that thing forever. Yeah. And every time, like Brian and I would go watch you play, we'd think, God, that guitar tone sounds so good. And it was funny because then one of us would come up and plug into your amp and play. Like, no, that's all in his hands. It's all in his hands.
There's a way of playing it too, and when you move that tail pickup, it creates a volume difference in all three of your pickup switches. So I use one pickup up here next to the lip, and then it'll be more of a rhythm, and use the one in the middle that turns into kind of a tic-tac kind of style.
Yeah.
And heavier, stronger, louder chords. And you put it to the back for all your solo stuff. I always like my bridge, my tail pickup for my solos.
Yeah.
So I just like the harshness of it, and I think it might be a kind of a country thing anyway.
Yeah.
But,
Cuts through mix more too.
Yeah.
I find it interesting you say like weight adds tone, because I feel like nowadays you have a lot of people who, because I feel I agree with you. I think it does, but like nowadays I feel like you always see like videos and stuff of like people saying like, the guitar body or the wood or like none of that matters. The only thing is like the pickups and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's got to be something in the
like
mojo.
when you're playing a guitar with like a thick neck, like I feel like you hear the difference in that thick neck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I feel like there's a lot of
I agree with you. I
people
definitely,
saying that doesn't make a difference.
it's weird. I wonder if Mythbusters has ever done an episode.
I know
on
need
guitar tone.
We need an
that to
episode
happen.
on that.
Yeah,
it's funny too.
it's a good idea.
Gun to my head, if I wasn't the one with the guitar in my hands, I'm sure as hell I couldn't tell you the difference.
Yeah.
But when it's in my hands, I can tell you the difference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Les Pauls have always had a little bit of a darker, heavier, more moodier. It's muddier, a little bit muddier. They can get more of that because of the weight of the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I definitely think it has to do with the two humbuckers. Again, like you said, it probably has a lot to do with the pickups. But yeah, man, I love my guitar. It's a parts caster. It's one of maybe the last thing I ever bought from Sam Ash before they closed down. There was a Sam Ash right off of Gallatin Road on the Rivergate stretch there, near Hendersonville and Madison and all that, in between Hendersonville and Madison. Just for the listeners, if this
Get
goes
the national geography straight.
yeah. It's a little bit about Nashville, but that's where Sam Ash here used to be. And
Yeah, that closed down like what, a couple months ago?
yeah,
Pretty recently.
Yep, I think so. And I remember going. They had a closeout sale when I visited up New York about a year back. They was closing out up there too. But that was one of the last guitars. That was the last guitar I bought, and maybe the last thing I bought from that Sam Ash there, off of Gallatin Road. And I'd been going there since I was in middle school, and but that was it still is my favorite guitar I think I've ever owned. They told me that it was made in Clarksville or Cookville. I can't remember, by some guy named William or Steve Young. I can't remember that shit either. But I know it's either or. My memory serves me correctly. I've always kind of wanted to look them up. It's branded into the top. It's a beautiful telly neck. It's like some kind of roasted maple or something like that. It's the way you can tell when you hold it.
Yeah.
But it says DPG, and I think it stands for Divine Performance Guitars, is what they told me. And it's got a little thing on the back. It says 1 of 10. So I guess he made some other ones. Who knows?
So there's some other ones floating around the universe somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. Who knows? But it's like a Fiesta red, like a Mustang red. You've seen it.
Yeah.
It's got that cocaine mirror pick guard on it. I only say that because that's what 5 or 6 people come up to me and told me. Yeah. Do y'all like your cocaine mirror pick guard? It flashes me in the eyes when you're up there playing.
Yeah, there's something about I feel this is true more so with Fenders, but this is true, I guess, of any guitar. There's something about, you could play 10 of the same model Fenders, and one of them is just gonna speak to you in a way that the other ones aren't.
I agree.
I don't know why that is, but there's some ones that hit harder than others.
I agree with you 100%. I don't know what percentage of pickups these days are made by hand versus machined. If any, I don't know. But that very well could have something to do with it. Oh, Andy Gibson. Y'all remember that old cantankerous steel player the Cowpokes had for so many years? He was a founding member of the Cowpokes. Great, very talented cat. And spent many, many nights with him playing music. But he's a great luthier. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that mandolin that he made for Kevin Martin. Oh. And he made a mandolin for Keenan from The Farmer and Adele. And they're like old Bigsby style, like Tiny Moore style electric mandolins. And made this guitar that ended up making its way to my buddy who sells the best pot in town. Not at the fake weed stores. I'm still smoking that real weed. I'm an old boy. And but I say it ended up making its way over there because somebody, a steel player I know, I think he wanted to trade some pot for that guitar. And he had made that guitar for that steel player. Man, that's one of the coolest fucking guitars I've ever played, man. It's like a Telecaster with beautiful blonde flame maple on the front and back, and it's got this like cream color binding on it, and it has a beautiful. It's like a flame roasted Maple's, tiger's eye neck, and it's got this Bigsby style headstock on it, and it says "Made in Nashville." Made in Nashville, Tennessee.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Yeah, we should get some luthiers on the show. That would be fun.
That's a great idea.
That's a whole world I'm just so ignorant of, because
there I know too. You holler at Spencer, Spencer McConnell, which has been around here for years and been fixing everybody's stuff. He lives out there in Berry Hill. That's the one you'd holler at for if somebody's been here for years. And if you want to holler at somebody that just moved here and is breaking in, he's one of the best luthiers I know, and he lives 5 minutes away from me. His name's Thor. You guys may know him, Thor Davis.
Yes.
Nicest guy in the world. Not harmonica playing Thor, but.
Okay.
For the people listening out there, we have a lot of Thors here in Nashville.
It was so fun. We went to school with Thor, harmonica Thor, not luthier Thor.
Oh, cool.
And it was funny because one day we were at I think we were at American Legion. One day seeing the Cowpokes play, and Thor, whom I had not seen in years, just walks in through the door, and I thought, Nashville's such a strange intersection of people.
Yeah,
I thought, oh my God, look who it is! But
Dude,
he's been here for a hot minute now. He's been here for quite a few years.
He has. I've had the pleasure to play with him many times.
I'll talk about getting him on the show too, because that'd be fun.
He's great.
But yeah, he's a nice guy. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but
very talented.
Yeah,
talented dude.
We need more standout harmonica players in town. The more, the better.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. What's been new with you guys? What y'all been up to?
Honestly, probably besides this show, not a whole lot.
Just doing this, working, playing guitar as much as I can.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been good. I mean, life.
Dude, you're a playing dude. Stuff I hear
Brian's a machine over there.
I play a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, you sound great.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime,
Brian's one of my favorites.
So, yeah, you see the videos and stuff online.
Keep practicing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't post too much these days.
You was with me. You went to the damn Nashville Country School thing. Was that you there? No, that wasn't.
No, I don't think so.
Somebody else.
What's that?
Yeah, I was thinking about the Nashville Country School thing Meredith's doing.
What's it?
Couldn't remember who was
Ben
there.
was just talking about that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's a cool thing she's doing.
That's pretty sweet. He was saying that. It sounds really cool.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. There's another one you could have on to do a quick commercial if you needed any commercials. have her do a sponsorship.
All right, a quick pause to tell you about something local that I really believe in. Our friend Joe just launched Neon Belly MMA in East Nashville, and I'll say this, I've known and grappled with Joe for years. He's been my Muay Thai and MMA coach for a while now, so when I tell you he knows what he's doing, I'm just a little bit biased.
It's a community-focused martial arts gym offering group classes and personal training for folks of all experience levels.
What I respect most about what Joe's building is that it's not just about fighting. It's about learning real, practical self-defense while also improving your mental health, pushing yourself physically, learning to think under pressure, and doing it in a safe, inclusive environment with good people.
If you've ever thought about training but felt intimidated, this is that entry point.
And right now, they're doing 2 great promos for listeners of this podcast. The first 20 people get 2 weeks free, and if you sign up with a friend, you both get your second month free.
Go follow them on Instagram at neon_belly MMA and check out neonbellymma.com. If you're in East Nashville and you've been looking for something that challenges you in the best way, this might be it.
All right, back to the show.
Man, I had an idea to do a podcast in Ernest Tubbs' bus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you started telling us about it. Well, you did last time, I think before you were leaving, we were talking about this a little bit, and it was a great idea.
I mean, just saying, that's, one of these days. I remember the first time I come in there, and it took me, I stepped in the bus, and I got goosebumps, and I couldn't bring myself to go to the very back room, back to Ernest's room. And so I got off the bus and walked around the store for a little bit. And I was like, man, you're not going to go. Get your ass back in there, walk back here and take a look at the back of the damn bus. And sure enough, I did. And yeah, I may be a little superstitious sometimes, but they're spirits for sure. And
you think so?
I definitely, I know so. But I say this. We've got such a rich history and culture here right in these grounds, that we get to live on. And you know, it's incredible. And of course, Ernest Tubb was one of my heroes. And man, so much badass stuff to do and check out and to learn around here.
Yeah,
Even
we
if
were
you,
saying
yeah,
we were talking to someone we had on recently. We were talking about this with who were we talking about this with? Where we're saying that there's a haunted spot around here somewhere, and a haunted
there's
hotel.
a few of them, yeah.
Yeah, and we were saying that we should. It was Luke we were talking about this with, and we were saying we should. We'll bring musicians to this haunted hotel and see how they fare. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Try to serenade a ghost into the room or something.
I think that's,
Boy.
I think there's. How do you feel about ghosts? What's the consensus on ghosts?
I definitely think that there's a world that humans, even no matter how much science, and I think science gets close to it, but it's like you still can't. There's so much that's awesome and powerful to me that God is. There's no way we could fathom it.
Yeah.
We just ain't no fucking way.
Yeah.
And I think there is another plane of existence in a way, and I think that they can. I think they can see us, and I think sometimes we can see them.
You ever had a paranormal experience?
I've had some experiences that I would classify as paranormal. Maybe not paranormal, but spiritual, most definitely.
Yeah.
But maybe very close to paranormal, and involving family members and just incredible, just stuff. There's people out there, they say, coincidence happens every day, and then there's people out there that says nothing is coincidence, you know. And you know what, I mean, because it matters what kind of person you are, and
Yeah.
maybe that way things tend to unfold that way that you look at them, you know.
It's funny too, like with that kind of thing, I always think it's odd because there's a strange disconnect. So many people, the vast majority of people on this earth, believe in something beyond this life. They believe in God. They believe in the soul. They believe in all of this sort of extension of us. And yet, when we're talking about ghosts, everyone's like, nah, ghosts, fuck no. It's like,
not crazier than like
exactly. I don't understand it. It's like,
no, I get you.
That's totally on the table.
That's on the table. That's
sure a lot of it's
as well as
presentation.
aliens.
Yeah.
That's all. If ghosts are on the table, then aliens got to be on the table.
It's all on the table,
It's
guys.
all on
Come
the
on,
table.
don't ruin this.
Yeah, you already know.
I feel like
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I think to me it's like, I think a lot of the ghost thing is just presentation. Especially like modern presentation. Just in the last century or two, we have a sort of caricatured version of what ghosts are.
Yeah, there's been so many movies and shit that
Sort of.
people,
Casper.
Yeah. I got this is years ago now, but probably 4 or 5 years ago, I just got balls out of my mind high and I put on Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Hell yeah.
And first of all, the movie's like 3 hours long. I do not
about-
remember it being so fucking long.
You're talking about the one that came out in the 90s,
Yeah.
right?
I put that movie on, and by the end of the movie, like I had to pause it and like recap the entire. I had to like look up what happened in this movie because like none of it made any sense. None of it made any sense.
Man.
It's a very complicated plot, is what I'm saying for Casper the Friendly Ghost. But
I haven't thought of that in
a
forever.
good watch.
Yeah, I want to check that out. I love going back in time and checking out the 90s stuff.
Yeah, and like with aliens, it's just that we've got to have some other folks out there. There's
Man,
no way.
I definitely think so. I also think that if God, created us, and that the possibility, based on what we know from science, is that there's so many other planets out there, then I know for sure that He's probably created other different things out there, besides all the animals we live here, on Earth with, and you never know. It also kind of ties into my theory about the islander, the question about the islander on the island. Does he go to heaven if nobody ever came to him and told him about God? Well, I think that God probably presents Himself to that islander in a certain way, and he may know God by another name. He may know, he may call him the Creator, or he may fucking think a coconut tree is God. Whatever it is. So I think, there's many roads to the same path.
Yeah, it's like we all participate in morality
Yeah.
whether we choose to or not.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hey, right, hey, I think also we're a product of our environment, and if we're lucky and blessed enough that we get to learn what right and wrong is wrong,
Yeah.
to learn that. So.
And it's strange too. There's this sort of divide between oftentimes people, if they do believe in God, if they do believe in a creator to the universe, there's this. I feel like it's a straw man argument that, well, then we're alone.
Yeah.
And in my mind, it's like those are two completely different questions. I mean, I don't understand why, if there is a creator to the universe, why that creator wouldn't create elsewhere. And maybe we're only, if you're taking scripture as the word of God, why? Yes, that applies to you. Maybe, why does that not apply elsewhere? It's just, that's a very odd thing to me. I don't know why that is.
I agree. So many questions. And also I want to point out that it's awesome that I can, come and hang out with you guys and talk about these kind of topics, because they might easily upset somebody else out there. But man, I'm from the South, and I was raised, to know about God, but also to know that America is full of all kinds of different religions and identities and sex, and that's why I think that I think the way I do about that Islander theory, and about, I like to think that God is everywhere, and that he tries to reach out, So, and I've been blessed. I got my fingers and my toes, gentlemen. I'm still doing
all
pretty
you need
good.
right there.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Yeah, it's like the Islander thing. That is really fascinating, because I think
that's what they wrote Islands in the Stream about. Just kidding.
That's why I've actually written a song about this. That's why I detest Lord of the Flies.
I
feel like we've made every young person in.
It was a serious book.
But it's like I don't understand.
I've never read it.
I don't understand. It's just without I guess the Cliff Notes, the very abridged Cliff Notes version is a plane of children crash on an island, and there's no adult supervision, and everything goes to hell.
It's like a society, kind of a society forms.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, there are merit to particular points, I think, being made in the book.
Sure.
But overall, that it goes against all of human existence. I mean, all of human existence is, if human beings do anything, we're an incredibly cooperative species. Mm-hmm. We're incredible cooperation. Now, obviously, there are times where that clashes or that decays. Over history, that happens all the time. Mm-hmm. But on the whole, the long arc of history, that's what we do, is we collaborate. Mm-hmm. And yes, you can argue that without guiding figures there, like without adults, whomever, to help teach young people how to cooperate, things can decay. But like, from the time I was a young person till now, I think that book is bullshit. I'm
gonna have to go back and read it again, but I do remember that some of them kids do have their heads screwed on straight just because of what they know, to be right and wrong. And some of the kids was about near batshit crazy.
It's true.
Some of them was, and it kind of depicts a lawlessness with some of the kids that didn't learn, and then when they get back and they got to face their consequences. And I remember that. But no, I agree with you. And I'm not going to read that book again. And I love to read.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're taking anything away from this episode, it's that aliens exist, and
that's right. That's right. I watched X-Files last night, by the way. I did. I watched X-Files. Watched an episode of X-Files, and then I watched an episode of MASH.
That was a good night. Damn.
Oh man,
it's MASH. I don't think I've heard of that.
MASH stands for Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. It came out in the 70s, but it's about the Korean War, which happened in the 50s. 50s into the late 50s, I think. Yeah, but it's you probably just a lot of green, a lot of army fatigues, a lot of dry humor. The theme song is unmistakable. The theme song is called "Suicide is Painless." Anyway.
I did not have Timbo singing the theme song to MASH on my bingo card for this episode.
Yes, sir. Softly humming is. Yeah. There's some lyrics, but boy, it's kind of a sad song. It's called "Suicide is Painless." It's kind of a sad song, but that's a good show right there.
Yeah, I need to watch some MASH. I've never delved or dove headfirst into it. You know?
One of the most watched shows in television history. I also want to say things was made different, wrote differently, and also filmed differently. And people's attention spans back then was different because of the onset of technology these days.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, I think we definitely are old enough to realize that because we all grew up through this age, which has transformed everything we do.
And it's so strange because there's a duality here, right? on one hand, right? Like I feel like human beings' attention span is next to nothing, right? Like we, on one hand, at least in this part of the world, we're just people. Right, you tell me right now, dude.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're good.
I don't want you to get stoned secondhand smoke
No,
here.
you're good. Don't worry about it.
Just playing the fiddle over here.
On one hand, people are watching, 30-second clips on their phone all day, and that's too long to hold your attention for. But on the other hand, you've got, if you look at all the content out there that people are most infatuated with and listen to on a regular basis constantly, I mean, long form podcasting is what everybody listens to. And so there's this weird thing happening where it's
but
like,
also people aren't just listening to a podcast. They're listening to a podcast while they're doing their chores or they're at work or in the car. You know what I mean? I feel like not too many people are just like focusing on the podcast. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I just think it's strange because
Absolutely.
On one hand, it seems like our attention is being diminished to next to nothing, and on the other hand, we're consuming long form content in a way that human beings really have never had the ability to.
You ain't kidding.
Yeah, it's very strange.
You ain't kidding. Not even on the internet. As kids. It's just everything is very instantaneous, and that it almost creates an anti-efficient kind of mindset. I think in a lot of young people, and because everything is so instant gratification and so supposedly available at your fingertips. But then again, hey, there's a lot of those young kids that make it work for them. It's incredible, and you was talking about it earlier, something about the 30 seconds. You touched base on that. This is something that some of the people out there might not know. That's something that us as people who live here in Nashville hear about all the time, because part of our job, which sucks, but it's the truth, is to promote ourselves and to market ourselves on the social media, any way that we can, the best way we know how. And the 30 seconds is what has been hammered into all of our brains time and time again, that's all based on metrics, that people really got time for you. When they're watching things, that's all they got time for, and then they're going to swipe.
If you
to
look
the next
at
thing.
Analytics, it's even less than that.
It's even less than that.
It's insane.
It's like 5 seconds.
Yeah, see, that's incredible.
Just
And there's
scroll.
It's a habit.
Yeah.
It's certainly habitual, and it's sad because there's anything of substance, whatever world you're working in, whether it's music or television or film or a novel, all of those forms of art. I can't really think of much of any, whereas it doesn't take a moment to lull you into its world. Whether it's a great song, whether it's a great book, whether it's a great film. It might grab you from the start, but it takes time to almost hypnotize you and build. Exactly, it has like a great song. It has dynamics built into it, and it's really sad when it seems like, to me, so much of art is being made to take those dynamics out.
You are so right.
And I don't know
why.
They're being designed for the person with the 5-second attention span.
And it sounds stupid, but I don't
they
think
shouldn't be.
Boom.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's a great technical ability. That can be like if you're an amazing guitar player and you play something flashy and crazy that can grab someone's attention for 10 seconds on Instagram.
Sure.
Like there's great ability there.
Sure.
But it sounds so strange, but I don't think you can make great art that doesn't have those dynamics, that doesn't give it time to live and breathe and become something. I don't know if that's actually really possible.
Well, I think all of everything that we're saying now goes down the funnel to the engine of it all fucking cheapens art.
Yeah.
It cheapens art, and that's it. Also, there's also I remember it was cool to listen to fucking punk music, or it was cool to listen to old country music because nobody was doing it, because I had to go find that shit myself. It wasn't this is being shoved on my face, every day. I can't get this readily. I had to go to CD Warehouse. I had to go to fucking, I had to go to my buddy's house and go get on LimeWire or whatever, Back in the day, music was not so easily, no art was easily accessible like it is now.
Yeah. And part of what comes out of that, and we were actually just talking about this with Ben when he was on here, part of what comes with that is when you get that new CD, as we all have, and you're so excited for that, you sit down with it and you spend the time with it. I mean, you don't, now because everything, and don't get me wrong, I love that everything is so accessible. I love that I can find, just this past week, I've been going just headfirst into all of these like really obscure soul record labels from the 60s and 70s that nobody listens to. And I love that I have access to that. That being said, there's something about sitting with a piece of art and really soaking it in that you can't get. It's you have to go beyond the surface, and so much of I think the way we intake music now, and just art in general, is it's just surface level. You don't actually get a chance to dive into it and swim in it.
You ain't kidding. It's an unfortunate thing. I also think that the climate in which we live in, that we're speaking of now, with the technology and the vanity and everything that comes with it, and the new headaches that come with it, that comes with the young generation not being able to easily understand or try to mentally access or appreciate the older stuff in that way.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, like, when the young adults are, the people who, had a TikTok in their hand since age 3.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see what that generation is, how they interact with art or the world in general, you know what I mean? Because that's like an entirely new territory. Like it's like it
almost gives me many goosebumps.
It's like a human, like mental, psychological experiment happening in real time. It'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
Boy, you ain't kidding.
Yeah.
Man, that's boy. You ain't kidding. That's a serious subject right there.
I think a lot of it too is just exposure, because so I teach, and couple weeks ago, I was showing a bunch of my kids like early rock and roll. Mm-hmm. So I was showing them stuff like Fats Domino and Little Richard and just all the stuff I fucking love. Mm-hmm. That still grabs them. Like they'll watch Chuck Berry and be like, oh, and they're in 6th grade, 7th grade. They're like, this is fucking cool.
Love to hear that.
And so I feel like so much of it is just because we're in this environment where there's constantly new shit being filtered in, that it's not that the old stuff doesn't compel people. I mean, you can be. I've said this before a million times on the show, but I'll show my 8th graders Led Zeppelin, and they're still like, this is the fucking coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Hell
it's like,
yeah!
It's still awesome. It still works. It's still like that. It's still good music is still good music. But I feel like they're just so constantly fed new stuff that their attention is always elsewhere.
That makes sense.
That's what I think is just messing with people, is you never have that time to, unless someone really clearly directs you in another place. These kids just don't. They just aren't there. Their focus is somewhere else.
It goes in line with that when you go down Broadway, and a lot of the players are out there and they're getting requests, and they're playing that old country that we all know and love, and that don't get celebrated as much, maybe a lot because of what you just said. And but a lot of them is, you know anything new? Play me one of them new songs. You don't know anything new?
You don't know any Taylor Swift?
Yeah, you don't know any Luke Bryan. You don't know, I apologize.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a thing, man, for sure. Yeah, that's a good subject to touch base on too, man. So that's interesting. Again, I'm sure you probably get a lot of different opinions from a lot of different people, but I said it before the other day. I did. I had a lot of different jobs. Oh shit!
You're good.
That's all right. Don't worry about it.
Sorry. Sorry, guys. I had a lot of different jobs, but I say that being a musician is the hardest that I've ever had. To promote yourself, keep everything going, keep everybody paid, and the connections that you've made, and make sure everything thrives, and all the while making sure that you take care of everything and everybody in your circle the right way that you can, the best you can, because you're trying to keep from starving to death. Yeah. Also, we're in this town where this is the hardest job in this town.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I could go, people, a lot of people make a living in Texas. They just tour in Texas forever, or just tour around. And people treat you good. In other states where live music is not so seen.
Not as oversaturated.
Mm-hmm. So I say that to the indie scene. I say that's a part of that.
Yeah. And I think also one of the things that's been really cool about doing this is we've got to see people sort of on all different ends of that spectrum of I don't want to call it success, but just varying points of career, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I think people often can misjudge with being a musician is, yes, it's amazing that these people get to do what they love doing. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's amazing that someone can wake up every day and that's what they get to live their dream. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean it's not a really fucking hard job. That doesn't mean that there's just so many different facets to what you do as a musician that nowadays, again, without bitching and complaining about living in 2026, because at the end of the day it's pretty nice. Mm-hmm. There are so many different components to being a musician now that are on the table that you are responsible for.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
and
sir. Each
one of those is its own job. Each one of those is its own whole batch of skill sets to learn, and it's it's a really, just being a half decent musician is hard enough for anyone. On top of all the other shit you have to do to keep the lights on. So I think on one hand it's always important to kind of keep things in perspective. So it's not digging ditches. Great. You get to play music. It's so still really goddamn hard.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. Yeah, it's always important, like you said, to have that glass half full perspective about it. But you ain't kidding. It's a brain fuck every now and again. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Have there ever been times through this whole thing where you just wanted to just throw down the guitar and be like, I'm done with this shit?
There have been a couple times through the years, but none more than recently, only because of the so much of the work and things that have been going on. I've been doing, everything by myself, and I just got some management, and it's a fella I've been working with for a long time, and he works his ass off, and he's great at what he does, and he's got a lot on his plate, and of course we all do, but we're working on getting everything that I've been doing, synced up with everything that he's wanting to do. And before I got with him, and started doing all this, I was just had so much going on, and sometimes you get stuck because you're hustling, because this is the way you feed your family, this is the way that you make a living. And this is what you know how to do best, in your eyes. that you forget sometimes to take a step forward. I wake up every day and think about that next step forward. I do that shit on purpose. But sometimes you can only do so much. You know, I can only wear so many hats for myself. You know, I can only, do so much. And so it's been a blessing to have management and be able to know that I do have some people that are making other plans, in my favor and in support of what I'm doing, of course, which is to share as much music as possible. I mean, that's what I want, I think as a musician, that's what we all want to do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think too, for people, it's easy to see for folks outside of that. It's easy to see that there are moments in any struggling musician's life, particularly early on, if you do eventually get some momentum, where that can be hard, where it's not paying the bills, that the shows aren't lining up the way that you want them to, et cetera, et cetera. I think that's easy for people to understand how that can be frustrating. I think what is often lost on people is, I think this is absolutely true of things outside of music as well. As more success does eventually come down the pike, that those problems are still there. Right. What happens is they change in scale. Now the issues that were there before that were minor issues are now bigger, and they're going to be bigger next year and the year after that. And so just because success is there doesn't mean these issues go away. It just means your bag of issues is different.
That's right. More money, more problems.
No, exactly. And with musicians, I think it's often we see those early struggles as the real difficulties in a career, when in actuality, I mean, our lives are riddled with these things. We just need to kind of better understand. I think we need to better understand with a lot of things in life, but with music, I think it's very visceral. Like, people get the struggling artist thing, whereas
I agree.
There's issues that I'm sure Jelly Roll's problems are different now than 15 years ago when he wasn't making any money. But what I mean?
Kidding, but he's got different problems.
now.
Yeah. Man, you ain't kidding. I think it's all in our mindset. I think God gave us all different tools in the toolbox to use, and I'm thankful that one of the tools I like to think that I have is to always look and know that there is an opportunity. There's always an opportunity around the corner. I've been blessed. I know the path is there. I know if I work and do my part, that the next step will appear. And that's, I don't know if my mom even remembers saying some of the shit she ever told me, but I remember she told me sometime or another, she said, the turtle always wins the race, And so I'm gonna win the fucking race, dog.
There you go.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's what I like to hear, man.
Pow, pow, power wheels. It's good.
There's been a lot on my Timbo bingo card I didn't have today, man.
Yeah, man. We've been talking about all kinds of cool shit.
It's I don't know. I think that seeing the way that all these different folks that we have on here deal with these, I don't even want to really call them issues, but just the way that they navigate choosing this life, it gives me a lot more sympathy and understanding for folks who choose other things as well. Because you realize that all of this, yes, being a musician is a specific box of problems that you've got to solve, or you try to solve. And that's different than being a garbage man. That's different than being a, teacher, fill in the blank, But at the end of the day, we're all handed a pile of shit. And it's like, okay, make sense.
A fucking lemonade out of it.
Exactly. Yeah,
you ain't kidding. And that's cool that we had gotten into the issue of the young generation stuff, because I totally forgot that you was a teacher. You're a teacher is what one of your trades is what you do. And just asking for the radio, for the podcast, for the listeners out there, what grade is it again?
So I teach 5th through 8th grade.
Okay, yeah, man, that's incredible. And what a time for your brain to be a sponge.
Very formative age.
Yes.
That's when you start to really figure out your
Yeah, and I think for music too, it's like we've talked about this a lot, but it's that age is the age for most of us out there that fall in love with this. That's the age for whatever reason. Where I think it probably has to correspond with your first boner. That's what I think.
Oh yeah.
That's what I think it is. Frankly, right around that time.
I remember that Jennifer Lopez Waiting for Tonight video.
There's something to that. There's something to that age. It's like when your brain's not quite, you're not quite human yet, but it's like it's bacon. You're close. There's something about that age where if music is gonna sink its claws into you, that's gonna be the time.
It was definitely for me a time there in right 8th grade and the 9th grade was right where I started getting. Where I was like, man, why have I not spent more time doing this? And then I got that bug, and sat it down.
Yeah, it's funny how, like, for me, I played guitar my whole life. My grandpa taught me guitar as a young kid, and he sang songs, that sort of shit. And I took guitar lessons from the time I was like 8. And not that I shouldn't say I despised it, because I enjoyed it, but it was just one of those things. It was just something I did. I never really thought about it. It was like, it's just something I kind of had to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then, around that age.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, around that age, it grabs you and think, oh no, like what do I? You almost feel like you've been wasting. Like I was wasting all this time. I could have been spent actually learning this.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the same feeling that I had.
And it's kind of like this game of. It becomes almost this game of catch up, where you're always and there is a healthy way to approach this, which I'm sure I'm not participating in, but there's a healthy way to deal with this, I'm sure. It feels like a game of catch up constantly. I think the best. The musicians that I most look up to, I should say, they feel that way. They feel happy with the present and where they're at, but it's this constant game of catch up. It's this constant game of I can do better than this. I can do better than this.
Everybody, we're all are. I agree.
Which I feel like is like something I struggle with a lot, because it stresses you out, you know what I mean? Like other people, they get done with their job, they go home, and that's it. They relax, whereas like I feel like as a musician, there's just always something you should be doing, always something you should be working on, always something you should be practicing.
I agree with you.
Where it's like it's hard to like find time where you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna chill.
I agree. You know what I've found that really helps me with all of that, and of course, sometimes I don't follow my own advice, but even if I know the song, played it 100 times, if I run through that set, for an hour or two each night, 2 or 3 days leading up to the show, then I say I showed up, and then I show up to the show, and I say, well, I put the time in, practice everything I needed to practice. Now I'm just going to have fun. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that sometimes, because I feel you on that, because we're all our own worst critic. If we're, I feel like if you got any merit, then you're always seeking more knowledge. You always know that you could have done something better. But sometimes you have to let a fucking sleeping dog lie and say, hey man, I fucking played that straight up, and that was good, and that was good.
Yeah.
And that, I think that comes from picking the time to go, I'm gonna let my balls hang. Yeah. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna have a good time. I'm not gonna fucking worry about this shit. But the only way I can do that is if I purposefully, because I can go out there and play you something, and chances are, I'll think it sounds decent, but I'll always think that I went the extra mile if I played it fucking 50 times, 3 days prior.
Yeah.
It always makes me feel better.
Yeah. And like the way you were saying earlier too, I think so much of that comes from enjoying what you're doing, like really, really, and because I think that transcends art. I think people that are in a position where they get to wake up and go to work doing something that they are infatuated with, whether it's in the arts or elsewhere. I mean, it could be owning your own business, it could be anything. Those people want to work their ass off. Like there's something in the fulfillment of doing something that you are genuinely interested in, lights that fire under your ass.
Yes,
and most people, I mean, is not to sound cynical or depressing, most people spend most of their days doing shit that they do not give a flying fuck about.
Oh, you ain't kidding.
And that's and I mean, it's just sort of a sad reality of life. But
yes, sir.
I think for us who are lucky enough to be able to do what we enjoy doing, as much as we can, it's like, why waste it? Why waste a second? Why I want to go woodshed or do the equivalent of it with whatever it is I'm doing.
That is such a great, everything you just said right there.
Every like 20 episodes, I say something smart. You know?
Well, that's the best. That's the best. That's the great fruit of this conversation tree here, because that's so true. You know, there's not many plumbers out there that are practicing on getting better on the tightening of the, you know, it's not something they might relish to do.
But it's this weird thing, because then there are some people out there who, you know, whether it being a plumber or whatnot, they love that, and
you're right. They do a good job,
and they do a damn good job.
And they're proud of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's something about. I think when we think of it, I think a lot of this, as silly as it sounds, is linguistic. Because I think when we hear the word pride, we're really thinking about a handful of different things at once. You know, like I think pride in the biblical sense is sinful. It's like we don't want to carry that with us.
Be vain and arrogant.
Exactly. But that, to me, that's exactly how I would frame it. It's this pride that is vain. It's arrogant. It is.
Sense of accomplishment in your workmanship.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
and the
that's
time
different.
it took you to get there.
Exactly. That's a different thing. It's different to be that. And I think that's something, that kind of pride is a very positive element in the world.
I agree.
I think we need more of that kind of pride in the world.
So take a step further and say that's what fuels a lot of musicians, and the will to go on is your belief in what you have to share. My belief that I'm supposed to be here and sharing things, and that all the time, and the things that I came to this point. You know, I guess everybody does it for a different reason, but I'll tell you my main reason. I want to make sure my mama never has to pay any more bills again. As I'm not quite there yet, but I'm gonna make sure.
You'll get there.
Before she dies, I want to make sure she experiences it. I want her to live 100 years. So
beautiful. Like, yeah, we all do it for. I can't decipher if all these people that we've talked to. Not that it's been a million, but this is probably close to 60 of these things we've done, and I can't quite decipher if we all do it for different reasons or if we all do it for the exact same reason and we're just talking over each other. You know what I mean? Like I can't figure it out.
I think it's like an onion.
Yeah.
Like layers, you know. There's layers.
Yeah, we're all just a little bit sick, but
yep.
Yeah, no, I can't quite tell. There's part of it that I think is really different and individual to that specific person that drives them and gets them to want to keep going back to the well. And then at the same time, I think there's some days where I wake up and I think, no, we're all doing it for the same. We might express it differently, but we're all compelled for the same reason. It's very hard to parse out.
No, I agree. I also, the way everybody's perspective, I think, is different, but I think that again, we're in that same boat for the main principle of it. We all wanted to share music. We all thought we had something to share. Whether people are more in it to, you know, keep from starving to death, or it's a way of life, or both. You know, but as being born and raised here, I've seen, you know, just by knowing people for many years, through the years here, you know, I've seen people, you know, come to town and leave, you know, come and go. And I've seen people come and stay. And, you know, it's not like, I've seen some incredible players that had to leave because they couldn't pay the bills, you know. So it's also like a will thing again, like we was talking about earlier. It's like it's an innate sense of wanting to share something, and
stubborn pigheadedness. I think that's what my family calls it now.
There you go. It's like, you know, what else would I be doing? This is a very passionate, you know, powerful thing. But yeah, I feel you on it.
Yeah, I think if you're compelled to do something, if you're truly compelled to do something, there are not many forces in the world that can stop you from doing that thing.
I agree.
And don't get me wrong, that's not to say that, you know, those who show up and back out, that they don't want it. But
what you see in your mind, you go hold in your hand.
Yeah, exactly. There's something to the if I preface this by saying, and I say this many times, I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know anything. That being said, I think if I do know anything, it's that the human spirit is what the human spirit can accomplish is boggles the mind in ways that we can't even begin to understand. I mean, just the shit that people have accomplished in this world with nothing but just pure will is unfathomable. And I think that that's something to be in awe of in life. And when it comes to, there's a lot of hard shit in the world to do, and that obviously music is a tricky thing. But it's amazing to see what people can do in that regard when they really, really are obsessed by it.
I feel like music is the audio grease with which all other people do their trades. It's the grease with which all other people's engines run. Some people don't really need that grease as much. Some people ain't as musical, but some people really fucking, you need the music. You need it. You're like, man, I need to listen to some fucking music.
Oh, and it's just so innate in us. There's nothing else in. I mean, we've had this before we've had language. I mean, it's funny. I talk about this with my kids sometimes. Not my kids, my students. It's not only is it so just innate in who we are as people. I mean, again, we've been just doing this for so long. It's also just sort of built into the universe. I mean, even just the idea of an octave, right? The fact that all of these people throughout all of the world, throughout all of history it's not even something we create, it's something we discover. I mean, the doubling of the hertz of a particular sound, which obviously, people who were first figuring this shit out, they had no idea what was going on that scientific level. But the idea of that, like once you establish that, the way I explain it to them, it's like baking a pie. Right, like once you bake that pie, once the octave is established, you can take that pie and you can cut it up in any amount of pieces that you want. Right? It doesn't. In a way, it doesn't matter. It does. I mean,
you always know where the first slice was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, and there's obviously there's math behind our intervals, obviously. Sure. But just the basic idea of the octave.
The Nashville number system is very loosely based on that.
It's also, it is also
pretty much
baked into the universe that it's
literally
it's not,
is.
No, it is. Exactly. Like it's the math
series
exactly.
is literally our 7-note scale that we use. I think it's
incredible.
Starts with like a Lydian dominant scale, but literally all the same notes, which is kind of wild that that's naturally occurring in nature.
Yeah.
And like even if humans didn't exist, that would still be heard in nature. Which is
that's why it's like I love.
Kind of a trip to think about.
Incredible.
There are other iterations of art I love. Film isn't baked into reality. You know what I mean? Like the written word is not baked into reality. Music is baked into the world that you walk through every day. There's nothing else in existence like that, which is. I think it's a really difficult thing for anybody to even begin to try to understand about the world. But it's just, I think that's why music is it affects us on such a deep human level that, you can listen to someone halfway around the world who speaks different language than you, lives their life in a culture completely seemingly different than yours, etc. Keep going on down the list.
Yeah.
But that music that person is making can still affect you in profound ways.
Yes, sir. I think Willie Nelson said something like that. Music was the universal language. I think it might have been him that said that.
Well, if not, we'll chalk it up to Willie. It sounds like somebody would say. Yeah.
Man, that's so true. Yeah, I love all kind of music.
All right, we want to take a second to thank one of the sponsors of the show, Ear Trumpet Labs. If you've watched the live performances we film here on Roosic, chances are you've already seen their microphones in action. We use their Delfina mic all the time in the studio, and honestly, it's become one of our favorite pieces of gear.
Ear Trumpet Labs makes handcrafted condenser microphones that are designed specifically for acoustic music and live performance. They look incredible on camera, and more importantly, they sound amazing.
They're built in Portland, Oregon, and you can really tell there's a lot of care that goes into them.
So if you're a musician, engineer, or venue looking for a microphone that both sounds great and looks great on stage, definitely go check them out. You can learn more at eartrumpetLabs.com.
And a huge thanks to Ear Trumpet Labs for supporting the show. Now, back to the episode.
Yeah, I was just listening to, I've had Pandora since I was in high school, had the same account.
Okay.
And
They still have Pandora?
yeah, I guess they
I
still
haven't
do.
used that since I was in
I
high
forgot
school.
about Pandora, yeah.
Yeah, it's still. I mean, it's still going to work for me.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I never did
Thing
pay.
broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I was listening to Herbie Hancock radio on there, and
Hell
they play a
yeah.
lot of Hancock and Coltrane and Miles and Wayne Shorter and Sonny Rollins, and
It's good stuff.
I love all that stuff. Stan Getz, and but I love all kind of music. But yeah, the stuff made with sweat and human pain and emotion and sincerity and humor, and played with real instruments. You know, it's like, man, how could you ever replace that? You know you can't. You
I
just
don't think
fucking
it'll ever be replaced. Like, I know, sometimes it's easy to be like a doomer about, like, you know, social media content and AI and
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
art's gonna disappear. But like, I don't, you know, I think there will always be a large amount of people who want real art.
Well, that's what I want too. You see a lot of stuff. It's strange because you see a lot of stuff that is made with AI, and they're not crediting AI, or somebody else is being credited, but they used AI. They clearly used AI.
Yeah.
And then shit, same thing with reels and shit. Sometimes y'all don't know what the fuck is real anymore. I'm watching. You know?
Yeah. Oh, that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother rabbit hole, ain't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Man, listen. Hey, what are we doing as humankind? I watched Terminator. Okay, I watched Terminator. We all watched Terminator. Did we talk about this last time? Skynet, man.
I'll talk about Skynet all day. Let's
Come
go.
on, man. It's like we already knew that this would happen. And I'm not saying that anyway. We ain't got to that point yet, but I'm just saying.
We're getting awfully damn close, I think.
I-
I think it's
We're
going to
headed
happen.
in that
Yeah.
direction.
There's there's things happening, and obviously things that we don't even know about, and that goes back into the X-Files realm.
Yeah. How about they're trying to they're trying to convince us that there are people flying around the moon right now. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, man.
I haven't heard about that.
Oh,
just-
no? Oh, they just launched a couple days ago.
Just put somebody up there. Just to,
There's 4 of them. They're going
Like
behind
who?
the moon.
Like America did?
Yeah. Well, I think it's either 2 or 3 of them.
for the first time.
Yeah, or
since-
Americans.
for the first time in years.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
They launched that.
They're not going on the moon. They're going to go behind the moon and loop back around.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Well,
No,
if
we
they're
haven't.
going that far, why not just get out and take a step,
we're not.
dude?
Yeah.
We have not. Okay, this
Is it
is
really
for
too much to
everyone
just
listening.
land for a
We have
sec?
not been on the moon since 1972.
I agree.
We have not been on the moon since 1972.
What's
That's
the point?
insane.
What's the point of
That is
going around it?
No, exactly right.
Like,
Everyone's
why
also
not just
think
get
this
a
is
quick clip of you
2002.
walking on the moon and
22. That's like 40. That's like almost 50 years.
Yeah,
man.
this
Damn.
is okay. This
Yeah.
is gonna
It's a
sound
long
way
time.
worse than
No,
I mean it
agree.
to.
You need to go down there and get on the
well,
damn
if you're
roof.
already flying around the thing, it can't be that much harder to just land real quick.
This past week when they were doing that, some of the teachers at work were telling the kids like, "Oh, we're doing this big moon thing, etc." And I was like, "Oh, that's." I mean, I hadn't heard about it. I thought, "Oh my god, that's incredible." And then I looked into it. and I'm like, "They're not landing on the moon. Fuck them. I don't care."
Yeah, it's not cool at
They're
all.
going on a joyride,
Yeah,
guys.
they're
Who
going on
gives
a
a fuck?
sightseeing trip, man. Which I mean, you know, I have to ask myself again, just like you said, why not just land? Why would you make such an expenditure to get all the way out there if you're not going to land?
Yeah.
Don't you? Why?
Yeah, I think
I'm sure
they want to
the
see.
landing and shit is a whole another process, but still, you're
Sure.
already right
You're
there.
You had
already
50
right
years
there.
to plan, guys. You had 50.
You had 50 years.
Like I
yeah.
think what they want to do, and again, I'm talking on my ass right now. I think my understanding is they're going to be getting a lot more information about the dark side of the moon that we just don't have information
Oh
on.
Lord Jesus!
Oh.
So maybe
Wait,
it's
so
going to be
have
crazy.
we ever flown around the backside of the moon?
I'm not sure.
India did?
Okay.
What'd they find?
Alexa says India
Because
did.
when we landed on the moon, I guess we would have just hit the side facing us, hung out for a second, and then shot back, right? How we ever went all the way around? Because then that makes sense. Then, like, okay, maybe that isn't stupid if we've never done that before.
Not related over there.
Do you know how?
There's just no people there, but they eat in the dark side.
they moved around.
Okay. I guess I don't even know what the what the circumference of the moon. I don't know how large the moon is. I mean, it's obviously substantially smaller than us. But
I just say it's like 1/8 the size of Earth or something.
Okay, you can do that in a day.
I could have just made that up, but.
Yeah, I wonder. I have no idea what the circumference of the moon. Like how long is it gonna take you to sprint around the moon? You know?
Holy shit, dude! This results
with
in
no gravity, it would take you a while.
It takes approximately 27.3 days to complete one rotation, which is the same amount of time it takes to orbit Earth. This phenomenon, known as synchronous rotation or tidal locking, results in the same face of the moon always facing Earth. Man, that's insane.
That's kind of wild. Like, why would it not eventually, like, slowly shift to the other side?
You know, Brian, instead of musicians, let's just get moon experts on. We'll get lunar experts on the podcast. We'll ask them all these questions. Well, you know what we'll do? We'll get lunar experts on and we'll ask them about music.
Oh, that'd be great. See, I mean, you got so many opportunities with this great podcast here. Get musicians and moon experts.
There you go. We'll get them on. You know what we'll do? We'll have them debate, like, whether or not we landed on the moon.
We talked about plumbers earlier. Let's get a plumber on here.
Exactly. So what have you
I'm
been
actually
listening
down
to?
to just interview people who have nothing to do with music.
So what do you do here in Nashville?
It gets boring just talking about music all the time. You know?
Yeah, that's why this shit's fun, because there's days where I'm like, Brian, we can't talk about music. We got to just talk about something else, man.
Well, and also a cool thing, I think, as editors and as material collectors, you know, in you guys' sense, you can always cut and add the best anecdotes and the things you find most humorous and favorable, and use those, you know. And since we've covered such a wide range of subjects, you know, there's a deep well of things to pick from, and I'm sure you do the same with other interviews
it's
too.
fun to like. If we were exclusively talking about music, we would have given up on doing this a long time ago.
Yeah,
there's only like so much you can talk about.
Because you just get. I mean, I love music, but it's just your brain fries out. You think I can't talk about this anymore.
Well, we're all blessed to be in this same boat here in this community, and I will say that. And man, I've known you for a long time.
Yeah, dude, we've been here 8 years now. How wild is that?
It's been a while.
That's crazy.
Insane.
Time flies.
Yeah, it really does.
Both of y'all. Yeah, it's just been. Let's see here. I guess I probably started taking music seriously, working only gigs to pay rent and doing some session work here and there when I first started out. I guess it was the very end of 2017. It was like October or something, I think. And maybe the beginning of 2018.
Yeah. So right around the time we would have met you a little bit, maybe just a little before. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think. Watch this. I'm gonna tie the moon shit and music in. Strap in, guys.
Hell yeah!
No, I think.
Come on, baby.
Stick this landing, guys. I think that if there's anything that if there's any through line in all of the things that are most compelling as a human being, I think it's exploration. I think whether we're listening to Miles Davis or whether we're landing on the moon, the thing that's in the human soul that we need that exploration. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think. Like, don't get me wrong, AI is incredible. I think it's going to do things that we can't even begin to imagine it will do. But there's something about that element of the human spirit that is so unique to how we perceive the world, how we move through the world. I mean, if you listen to Coltrane, there's something about that where it's this experience of waiting for the wheels to fall off, and they don't fall off. It's the same thing as when we touch down on the moon. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, I can't believe we fucking did that. Like, I can't. No, but I can't believe we fucking did that.
Did we though?
That's why I like. Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, yeah. And hey, here we are.
Hey, 1972, guys. Just saying, a little bit sus.
Yeah, it's a long time, man. That's why I love Star Trek, man, because it's all about. And also they got jazz music on there too. They love jazz music on there.
On Star Trek?
Star Trek Next Generation. Man, when I tell you, all right, so it's set 500 years, 400 years into the future. Mankind learned how to reproduce food and water from the molecules in the air. So there's no classes. Poverty is completely demolished. There's nobody's rich, nobody's poor. So and then we find out aliens exist, and so we dedicate our species to nothing but exploration and multiplication, obviously, of our species, expansion of our species, and it's incredible, man. And the second in command, Patrick Stewart, Captain Picard's, what's his name, number one. He likes to play the trombone. He likes to play jazz. So there's some jazz on there.
Also, not on my bingo card, Timbo explaining the plot of Star Trek Next Generation.
Oh, come on. I'm a 90s baby anyway. And we grew up with no cable and everything, with the bunny ears. And so all there really was to watch was... I had a crush on Ally McBeal when I was like 9 years old. Frasier. It was fucking... Frasier, I was watching Frasier. Simpsons, of course. There was Star Trek Next Generation come on late at night. Man, it was the shit. And anyway, watching all that stuff as an adult hits different because there's very adult themes, obviously, we got to deal with. But I hope that's what happens, if God don't come back in time and we get to find out what happened to the rest of the aliens out there,
I hope so.
That'd be bad. I'm terrified of space travel and the idea of it. Actually, I don't know.
Oh, really?
I really and truly
well,
am.
I mean, yeah, but you're not much planes freak you out too, though.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Well, I'll say this: I don't want to say they freak me out, but they used to. But I'll say I took my first.
I was gonna say, where are you? Where do you feel with planes now? Because you've taken your first leap, one small leap for man.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Well, I feel all right. I haven't went over any bodies of water yet, and I do not want to go. I hear I may have a show I may be doing overseas. I really don't want to go. Not saying that against people from overseas, but I don't know if I'm ready for that yet. Because I love to see my land of sweet liberty up underneath my feet. And I'm going to die if we crash either way. But it's just something about it.
Yeah. See, I feel like your odds are better over the ocean. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say
maybe you're
one
right.
thing that really freaks me out is being in the middle of a very large body of water. Like when you're on a plane over the ocean and you look outside and all you see is blue ocean.
That freaks you out.
Or on a boat, you look out and you can't see land; it's just ocean all over the place. Fuck that.
Yeah.
There's something about that. Just I remember I went on a cruise where we were way out there, and I wouldn't look out the window. I'm
I'm the opposite. I kind of love that.
If something goes wrong, you're fucked.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. Hey,
you're not swimming back.
I agree. And out of all the things that we've made, safe, why I don't get why we don't have some sort of emergency, extra little plane. That hops out the bottom of the big plane, backup plane. Yeah. I'm just going, come on now. I mean, out of all the silly gadgets that we've created for movies and all the things we've made, you mean to tell me
you can't build a backup plane in the plane?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's some Johnny Quest type shit there.
Yeah, some Inspector Gadget plane. Yeah. See, I feel differently, Brian. I feel like there's something about that feels really freeing to me. Obviously, if the plane goes down over water, like you were saying, Timbo,
you have a better shot.
It doesn't matter.
Then you're in the middle of a body of water. Either way, you have that problem.
I'm dying either way. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that being said, I think there's something freeing about looking out and just being like, I don't know where I am. I could be anywhere. Mm-hmm. There's something I like about that.
And then that Jimmy Buffett song starts playing in my head. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah, I don't know. That's the opposite of freeing to me.
I get it.
Because you literally can't go anywhere.
Maybe one day I will. Maybe one day I'll feel like that. But again, you telling me you all got safety ratings on cars? Well, motherfucker, where's my fucking, where's my little plane? Where's my little jetpack or a oxygen mask?
That's what they need. Instead of giving you a floaty or whatever.
I mean, dude, at least give me a fighting chance against the sharks. I'm just saying.
Some harpoons on board.
Yeah, it's fucked, man. It's fucked. The tales of people crashing out there, Anyway, I need to stop talking about this.
Yeah, I think that's.
I'll scare myself. My bad.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to tie that one into music, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, you could hear. I'll tie it into music when I say about all the plane crashes that you've read about and heard about. There's Skinner, of course. There's Patsy
John Denver. Yeah.
That's right, man. Poor John Denver. Yes, no, seriously, yeah. That little plane. I think it was some kind of little.
Yeah.
Kind of glider.
Randy Rhodes.
Yeah.
Stevie Ray. That was a helicopter.
Jesus Lord. But Kobe Bryant. That was a helicopter. But
Close enough.
yeah, Skinner.
Roberto Clemente.
Patsy Cline, Cowboy Copas, Hawkshaw Hawkins, Big Bopper, Richie Valens.
Yeah. Buddy Holly. Yeah.
Buddy Holly. Yeah, it's insane, man.
Yeah, I think I'd be curious. Okay, what do you think? What's taken out more rock legends? Drugs and alcohol,
It's
or
had to have been drugs. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a good idea. We are all our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
That's for sure. More so than planes or cars, but
yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing that again, being grown and wanting to be making a way for your family and making a way, for your aging family and the people that you want to take care of as you grow older, and as they grow older. That's one thing that you think about is being able to make a living, making it all work.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's a blessing. Blessed to be alive. Blessed to not be in the age of going to outer space. Blessed.
You found that sweet spot, man.
Blessed
You found it.
Thank you.
What do you got coming down? Like what's on the horizon for you?
Man, we've got shit. We're recording something all the time for all kinds of stuff that people see online, and we've already got most of a record in the hole already.
Oh, nice.
I mean, shit, I've got 7, 8, 9, 10 songs that have already been recorded. But when you make a record, you kind of want to see which songs will match up with the other songs, so to speak, so on and so forth. Really, to be honest with you, I'm a very simple man. I don't really think that much about it, but everybody else around me does, so I say, okay.
You just show up and play.
I like to write music.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
I like to write music. I like to play songs, and they're all coming from me.
Yeah.
They're all my songs, so it's not like you ain't gonna get me if if something don't come out this date or something. But anyway, it's an interesting thing. It also has a lot to do with marketing and things like that, and being able to get the most exposure on everything that we're doing. And here we are circling back around to all the media and the many hats you have to wear.
We're sticking the landing, guys. Look at this.
Yeah. Also, a big shout out to a dear friend of mine. I've been working with him for years. His name's Gabriel Kelly, and he's the front man for the Hog Slop String Band. His band, as well as Mobile Travelers Studio, where we do a lot of the recording, and he's also my manager, and does an incredible job at everything he's doing. And it's really and truly, again, to circle back around, it's one of the hardest jobs in the world, our music business, especially in this town where this is, this is a
competitive place.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is where everybody comes, and you're right.
Oh yeah. Well,
I never thought of it as competitive, but you're right. It is. It's very much. There's me and 50 other lead singers, on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, more than that probably.
You're right.
And you want to. Competition, I think, can be a very healthy thing for people.
Sure.
But with music, you also have to remember that it's not a competition.
Yeah,
that's right.
So it's really not.
That's right.
It's this strange thing at play where it's not. It can feel like
making
competition.
a competition.
Of something that isn't.
Out of something that's not a competition.
Exactly.
I agree.
Exactly.
I agree. I think that I love to be. I would always want to, or hope to be, disarming in that manner. In that, man, I'm so blessed to be here. Just blessed. I'm grateful to be alive. I got my fingers on my toes. Grateful to be here in this chapter of life. And no matter what green room I step in, or no matter what slot I've got, shit, I'm just blessed to be there. I'm gonna have a good time, and I'm gonna tell a part of my story, you know. And that's what I'm there to do, you know, in my own little way.
I love it, man.
As they say. Yeah.
And on that note, thank you so much, man, for coming back and doing this. This was so fun to check back in. This was fantastic. And the stuff I love hearing you play, as you know, and that stuff just sounded phenomenal. I'm so excited to hear that stuff finished up. So thank you so much for doing this.
Brian, thank you guys.
Of course. A pleasure, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
You'll have to come back and do it again in a little while.
Man, anytime I get a chance to hang out and bullshit with you guys, it means the world, man.
We'll be here.
You guys are great hosts and good at what you do, and I love to just have a conversation and kick it. So I hope I didn't go too far off topic.
No, it was great. It was fantastic.